own network from Sunday. Ryan O'Neal joins me now. Ryan, I've got to thank you. Because for, I would say, most of the last 46 of my useless years of life, whenever I've needed to succeed with a woman, my tactic has normally been to put Love Story in the DVD or the video cassette, whatever it may have been at the time, and to sit back and let you work your magic. Because no woman could resist a man after they've watched that.
You softened them up.
I mean, it was, to me, it was like the ultimate weepy, the greatest of his genre.
I would try that, only I ended up crying, you see, and that, that took away...
Do you ever watch it?
No.
When was the last time?
Last night. No. No, but I haven't seen it in a long time. It upsets me, actually.
Does it? Why?
Yeah. Well, I lost Farrah to cancer, and I just wonder how that all played out that way for me. One was such a big deal and so successful, and then in real life it was just the opposite. It was just tragedy.
When you look back at your life, I mean, the show with Tatum, I watched a few of the episodes, it's a fascinating thing to watch, because I've interviewed Tatum earlier today, actually, and I said to her, you know, she's nearly my age, 1 year older than me, and...
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah,
I could have had you.
She's aged a lot better. Well, we didn't explore this possibility. She said you were in London a lot, actually.
No, it's not possible.
We were laughing
I would have taken you home.
Well, what was interesting, I think, is that I sort of said, you know, that the O'Neals, both her and you, have been in my head, like most people's, for the last 40 years. You're such famous people. Not just the movies you've made, the father and daughter relationship, the scandals, the ups, the downs, the tragedy, the everything. And she said one very interesting thing to me, that it's almost been like, for her, in the family, like being an observer, like being, you're soap opera characters, you're not real people. Mm. And she sort of mused as to whether that had been the root of the problem, that the fame thing became so big that you couldn't have real relationships.
Maybe, I don't know. That sounds kind of complicated to me. What happens is that the more success you garner, the busier you are, the more choices you have, the jobs that are offered that take you around the world. And that can create a kind of chaos in the home front. It certainly did in our house.
I mean, it's a very honest appraisal, because the impression I got from Tatum is that whilst everybody kind of wants to play out the Tatum hates her dad storyline, that actually, in many ways, you saved her from a life with her mother, who was very dysfunctional, had many issues and problems herself, and that life with you was a better option for her. However chaotic it was a better option. I
had taken her mother to court, actually, and tried to get legal custody of the children because they were struggling on the ranch. They lived on a ranch, sort of a ranch. And I lost. The judge said, give her another chance. And it was just, so then she came to me, Mom came to me, Joanna Moore, a very fine actress, you know, I think that should be established. She's a wonderful actress. I learned a lot from her, and she adored her kids, but she did struggle. And we made a deal that I could help her with her problems financially, but she'd have to sign the children over to me. And I made a deal that we could put them in a school out of state, so that I wasn't going to give them more influence than she had, and I wouldn't take the child support payments away. They would continue with Mom. I made all those, I made that agreement, and then off they went to a school in Arizona called Tree Haven, which had horses, and, you know, I thought it might really be wonderful. And for the younger boy, Griffin, it was. He joined in immediately and got involved, and Tatum struggled terribly.
When you look back, if you were your own biggest critic here,
yeah,
what would you say you were like as a father?
Great. Hands-on. Great? No, not great. That's funny. Hands-on. You know?
Really?
Hands-on, absolutely. Hands-on. To ask him, I was always strangling him. No.
Well,
I found it really hard because there was never the mother and the father. It was just the father. playing both parts. And I was, only just fair at each.
And is that it's tougher than people think, right? I mean,
oh, boy, you must know. And especially if they win Academy Awards, at the age of 9.
Ryan O'Neal, the iconic actor who was an Oscar-nominated icon for his role in the 1970 romance Love Story. According to the reports that are coming in, he has died. He was just 82 years old. His son, Patrick O'Neal, wrote in an Instagram tribute that his father had passed away peacefully on December 8th, calling him a Hollywood legend. O'Neal broke out in the soap opera Peyton Place that was in around 1964, and he went on to star in Peter Bogdanovich's 1972 comedy What's Up, Doc, an opposite of Barbra Streisand. O'Neal posts actually have been very, very rare in the recent past. He has not been so much active on social media, but we express our deepest condolences to the family. He expressed, by the way, before he passed on, that he didn't consider himself the greatest talent on screen, but of course his most famous role, Love Story's preppy Harvard student Oliver Barrett he once said in that movie that I didn't worry about whether I was preparing. Preparations are always scanty, and of course I make sure that I do a little bit of the research and study, but it's not so much into my thing. So the right scarf, the right sweater, it's me. While the golden boy look immortalized in that movie, it made him so much famous on the screen, and it was his turbulent life off screen that actually made headlines every now and then. Like I gave you in the interview, he was in an argument with his son, the wife, and so many other off-screen events happened, which actually always brought him into the media. O'Neal's family actually now are coming out to really honor him through various posts on social media, and of course so many other people who are so much related to him, plus his fans, are coming out to honor him via different social media posts on different social media platforms. He was born in 1941 and he was an American actor. By the way, he was even a former boxer, an amateur boxer, and he trained up to around 1960 when he joined the movie industry. He later on found success in so many films like Love Story. Then there was What's Up, the Dog, Papermoon. Then there was Richard Attenborough's A Bridge Too Far, Walter Hill's The Driver, and so many other movies. In this moment in time, all we are saying is continue resting in power, the king, that is Ryan O'Neal. We'll be bringing you more updates, the funeral and memorial service, in case the family avails that information.